There we are.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Quilting Unscripted. We're together.
Woohoo!
Where the chat is casual about all things quilting. I'm Lynn.
I'm Carla. Now, I invited Lynn and my friend and our friend, other certified instructor, Katrina. We get together once a year. Well, we get together twice a year if we can. I go and visit them, and then they come up and visit me. So This is the last night. The girls leave home tomorrow, and we've been quilting.
We have.
We've been doing a little bit of sunbathing on the dock. It's been hot. It is very hot and dry here in Northern Ontario. Probably most of Canada is experiencing hot and dry. We've done some swimming. As you can tell, when you're in the water a lot, your hair grows, it gets bleached out. You got flings.
Yep. Wind takes it.
Can't do anything about it now. So, but we're having a great time.
We are. We're absolutely having a wonderful time.
Lots and lots of discussions about technique, rulers, what's new. You know, somebody's always on their phone going, "Did you see this? What do you think about this?" So, yeah, that's part of the fun.
Yes.
We do get together on a regular basis via Zoom, but it's just not the same.
Right.
Because I can't get her to wear the shirt.
Yeah, so check out the shirts.
Woo-hoo!
The French River.
Yeah. Got the French River shirt on. We're doing good.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
Yeah, so you know, another month's gone by, and it's now mid-August, and you know, before you know it, we'll be buying those school supplies and packing those kids back off to school, and all you quilters will be going back into your studios and having a great time stitching again.
Yeah.
So I know in summer it's a little bit late for all of us. Our schedules are a lot different. And in Canada here, they all just take vacation. They go to camp.
Yeah.
And they just like,
winter's short or summer's short. You got 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting cold again.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm headed back home to Vermont tomorrow and back into the classroom on Saturday. I'm doing the color and binding class, color in the morning, binding in the afternoon. And that's basic bindings. And that's at Haphazard Quilting in Canaan, New Hampshire. And then on Monday, August 25th, I'm doing the same series of classes, color in the morning and then bindings in the afternoon at the Quilters Corner in Middlebury, Vermont. Those are my two kind of local shops in Northern New England that I teach at. So that kind of rounds my August out. And then I'm headed off to AQS in Lancaster. Now I am really excited about this. You know, this is my second appearance at a Lancaster show, a AQS show this year. So I was thrilled to be invited to go to Lancaster kind of at the last minute before they opened up registration. So I'm doing that wedge star, and you'll see behind us, we'll talk about the wedge star more in a minute, but I'm doing basic wedge in the morning on Wednesday, and then the edged wedge, which is a specialty wedge star, putting a little bit of fancy features on it. And then on Thursday morning, I'm doing the wonder of curve piecing. It's just a small butterfly runner. And then Thursday afternoon, I get to do one of these learn and lunch. This is a new thing that AQS brought on this year. It's where you buy lunch, you all sit in a hall and you listen to me talk about all my tips and tricks about quilting. And so it's a kind of a fun thing. You don't have to stand in line to get your lunch or anything like that. You just go and sit down and with your friends and have a bit to eat and then listen and talk about what's new and what I highlight in quilting. Friday is Ellie's Blooms. Ellie's Blooms has been an absolutely spectacular desigin of mine. It's been very popular.
I have your patterns in the shop.
Yes.
So anybody who wants them up in Canada, get a hold of me.
So there's lots of people that Ellie's Blooms came out late in 2023, and lots of people are finishing them. You're seeing a lot more of them online, which is wonderful. So it's getting a lot of traction right now. And then I'm wrapping up AQS with curved log cabin, the Studio 180 way with that Tucker trimmer. And if you've ever been intimidated by all those parallel seams on a log cabin, we're using that Tucker trimmer and using that Studio 180 method of oversizing slightly and trimming it to precision is the way to go for your log cabins.
That the curve piecing is one step above the regular log cabin technique that Studio 180 puts out. I've taught it to a few of my students. I have a William Morris log cabin on the go, but log cabin is one of those things where, you know, even though back when I started in the mid 90s, they said, oh, start all beginners off with a log cabin. If you're not, accurate with that 1/4 inch
Right.
seam, your logs those seams aren't parallel. Your logs end up going like this, and it can be a bit of a challenge. But the new technique now out by Studio 180 with the Tucker trimmer and the wider logs, and you trim them down, sort of solves that problem.
That's right. And you can also do it with a 60 degree and do a diamond log cabin. So I teach that as well. So anyway, that's where I'm headed for the next 3 or 4 weeks, out on the road again, teaching a few places, trying to wrap up my summer work, get ready for fall, because when the fall comes in New England, it's all that checklist of all that stuff you got to do. So I'm trying to get that done and also enjoy my quilting time with my people. I love going on the road and teaching. So I just love being with quilty people.
Me.
So yeah, my Carla.
I just turned the comments on, Lynn, and as you can see, nobody's commented. So if you're out there, shoot us a comment, say hi, let us know where you're watching from. I know that it's summer, and I know you're probably sitting on the dock or out on the patio or barbecuing. And I just want to remind everybody that if you are watching, let your friends know that you can turn around and hook onto YouTube, and these are all recorded for you to watch later. As far as I go, yes, I do take the summer off. I have to host these people.
Right, we're very thankful.
Oh my goodness, it's swimming and sewing and talking. We've been together so long that this afternoon there was no talking for like a half an hour, and I got really nervous, and I thought, oh my God, don't tell me we've talked ourselves out. But no chance of that.
No chance of that.
What am I doing? September's busy. Anybody who's looking at the loft for the fall, I highly advise you to check the availability calendar on my website. Loft is busy. It's fall. It's moose hunting season, deer season, bear season up here. The men go away and the women go, hey, I want a holiday. So, yes, it's quite booked. I get really busy doing little odds and sods classes while my group is up in the loft. But October 4th, I'm doing the curve piecing Wonder Flutters table runner with a group here not too far away. And if you're one of those members, I'll be ordering the ruler soon. So reach out and say, hey, I need a ruler if you need one, because now's the time. We need a bit of heads up in order for us to get those supplies in for up and coming classes. Other than for that, just busy.
Yeah, and so I was pleasantly surprised. So I think I talked about this last month, that my newest design, Over and Under, which is a block of the month, and I had it hanging behind me last live. When the catalog arrived, it ended. So this is the summer catalog. Oops.
You can view this catalog
online
at Island Boutique. Is it Island Boutique or Lumen?
If you go Island Boutique catalog in the Google search, you'll go right to it. So this is the summer 2025, and check out what's on the back cover.
That's my friend.
So this is Over and Under, my block of the month that uses just the Tucker trimmer one. So a 6-month program. So anyway, and I know that Carla's going to teach it here in Canada. So I'm super, super excited about that. So look for that release. The fabric's not going to come until later in 2026. Going to be delivered to the shops, I believe, in March. So anyway, but I'm super excited. It was just a great surprise to have this show up. I didn't know it was going to be on the back cover, and just truly blessed to have that there. So that's an exciting thing for me.
So she has physically grabbed my arm and twisted it. So, things that are on my to-do list for September, October, and November. Yeah. We'll get that underway. What else have we been up to? So first off, Lynn came all prepared. Hold it just a minute. Right is left and left is right, to sew her Alaska. Now, everybody a lot of you know what Alaska is, and Alaska is a beautiful pattern put out by
Edita
Edita
Sitar.
Sitar of Laundry Basket Quilts. It's not anything that's new, just hitting the market. It's been around for a while. But you know us Studio 180 geeks, we grab something, and it just so turns out that you hold this, I'll grab the ruler. The wedge star. So we all know about the Lemoyne, but this is the wedge. Looks like a triangle. It is a 45-degree triangle.
Yep.
Okay. And it does wedges. So very popular with kaleidoscopes, spider web thingy doies.
Yep.
That's my
Yep,
technical
spider web
terminology for the day. And so Lynn brought it, and I've looked at it and I've hummed and hawed, and I thought, oh, I don't know. And then I said, well, maybe I'll do one. So the girls got a hold of my fabric, and everybody's color coordinating. So guess who had to get it all cut up? One of the things I want to tell you is, if you're doing my class, Lynn's class, or out on your own, or whatever, see how big this is? And it opens up one more time. As always, this is the how to do the steps in the ruler.
Awesome instructions and illustrations. However, not easy when you're on a table with this much space. So
Go into studio180.com, studio180.net, and go into free downloads and find the tool. And you can print it out in an 8.5 by 11. So you can, put this however you want in a little do-a-tang or something. Right. But it is far easier to manage on your table when you're doing the how-to instructions for each of these. Little thing. On the back of the tool, there's a free pattern. I got moved. There's my free pattern right there. So it does this, and this is the size, 9-inch block. And it just so happens that the 9-inch block is the same size of block that Alaska is.
It is.
And then the cool thing that happens with all Studio 180 tools is they give you these multiple sizes. So why not make it smaller? So that's a 3-inch block. And, I sort of like little things.
Right.
Yeah. The smaller the block, they get less cuter, and it makes you talking a little squeaky voice. So it does 3 blocks. I'm going to point. Okay. So the tool teaches you 3 blocks.
You ready?
Okay. You ready?
I got your center.
I
just need your center.
You just,
I don't know.
why would I do this one? This is block 1. This is big triangles sewn together. Just the big open wedges.
Wedge block.
Wedge block.
Standard wedge block.
Just simple, easy peasy. Then you learn to do these little wedges put together.
That's the wedge star block.
The wedge star. So you've got these funny diamonds with the wedges on the outside. And then she mixes them up. And then you mix a solid wedge with a
star point wedge,
and then you can do combinations. So what happens when you add color, Lynn, to any of, any quilt block, you start changing the color around and lights and darks and all this, and that's how you end up with this. So we've got a solid wedge block, you've got a star wedge block, and you've got the combination block. This is Alaska. This is Lynn's Alaska, the center.
Just the center.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Not to knock Edita, but she does templates and they're precise.
Right.
So, you wiggle here, you wiggle there, and
your seam allowance, your pressing, everything has to be, very controlled. So
what do we know about Studio 180?
We tuckerize it.
We make it bigger and we square up those units. So and it hasn't just been Lynn and I. I mean, there's a group.
This has been going on since Alaska came out.
Yeah, a lot of the girls have done it and tried it, and so make an Alaska.
Yeah, so make an Alaska, and Alaska, she has published several different designs. She has the Rainbow Alaska, then she has the Large Alaska, which is a 12-inch block with traditional borders on it. So her first Alaska was just a floating design. I suggest you try it. And if you're a tuckerizer, which a lot of people who have tucker tools knows what that means, and that's where you go through and you use your instructions, you figure out what little oversize you make your strips and so forth. You can then make Alaska in any size block. And if you look at some of, Heart of the Quilter, you can see a bunch of different sizes from her. Nicole has made some beautiful designs, and play with color.
Yeah, it's all
change
about
your
the color.
values.
It's
You
all-
don't have to just do 6 fabrics for the original design. You can say, I have these fabrics I want to use up. Play a little. Give yourself some freedom.
One of the daunting things, I think, when it comes to doing Alaska or even freelancer, the pattern off the back, is the fact that you look at a block and it's like, this wedge is blue and this wedge is white and you're like, your brain starts going, ah! But you know us. And if you've done classes with me and you've done classes with Lynn, you know how much we love these stupid paper plates.
Look at my Alaska. All ready, and blocks are all done.
So Alaska does 13 different blocks. Well, actually 12, because there's one repeat in there. But so being that I am in the process of beginning to construct, what I did was I got my plate, and I actually, because I colored in the graph with the colors that I wanted to use, and I pasted the block and its colorway onto there so I know what colors I'm using, wrote down how much the fabric is, and then you go and you cut it so all the pieces for block number 1 sit on your plate. All the pieces for, you've got block number 2, block number 3, etc. And then as you make them, the block number 1 blocks stay on block number 1 plate. You move and you do block number 2 and they stay there. So when you go to put it together, you just read the graph and it says 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, and you just pull your blocks and put them, and it creates the layout. So
it's truly our love for paper plates. It's just, I can't wait to sew this together. I absolutely can't wait. So it's interesting. There's a helicopter going by outside, and we'll talk just about that a little bit. And we're not really sure whether it's a medevac helicopter, a water pickup helicopter. So if you have been watching the news, much of Canada is burning, and there are fires burning close to here now, and they've started since we've gotten here. So I've learned a lot about how the Canadians are fighting their fires since I've been here.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So and she lives on this huge river where they can come and scoop the water up and go take it and to fight the fire. So
now they haven't yet, but
Right.
This morning I got up and I checked the Ontario fire map because we are super dry. And there it was this morning. Hopefully they've put it out, but there was a little fire just, over the river, over the hill and down the valley kind of thing, which is a little bit too close in these conditions, but hopefully they've gotten it out. But we become very aware to helicopters, site planes, you see a plane circling, it's like, oh my God, check the fire map. So hopefully everybody in the area and all over is safe. And if you are somebody who's affected, our hearts go out to you. Stay safe. Always, always, always. Back to the wedge.
back to the
wedge. So love the paper plates. Now, okay, so you're teaching wedge.
I'm teaching the wedge, the basic wedge. We will make the wedge star block. And then we will look at a mixed wedge in my 3-hour class on Wednesday morning. And then we'll do the edged wedge, which actually puts a border around, a band around that 8-pointed star.
So you know what happens in the summertime, right? You give us a little bit of time off. We relax. The brain starts going, oh my God, September's coming. We got to go to new classes. And blah, blah, blah. So yes, it's in the works. So if you're somebody that's always wanted to do Alaska, been a little bit timid, I do classes here in the studio. You're a little bit far away, book the loft, come with friends. We can do Alaska up there. And I'm going to say it's probably something that's being put together. We'll see. You got groups and guilds that want to do it. Give me a shout. That's what we do.
I have Alaska scheduled for October, a two-part class in October at the Quilter's Corner in Middlebury, Vermont. And then there will be a schedule popping out soon for the shop in New Hampshire that I teach at. So look for that.
Sue's
Yeah.
on. Sue's got a big
Hi,
order for
Doreen.
Sue's a newbie to Studio 180, and she is just absolutely having a ball. Hopefully, she's got
Ellie's Blooms. Yes. Hi, Sue. Thanks. Ellie's
She-
Blooms wonderful.
she's got a Storm at Sea that she came, and I helped her with the diamond Rex and the all the bits and pieces that go together with Storm at Sea. So anxious to see pictures of that being finished. So we're all here sewing, as you do. And Lynn starts mumbling, mumble, and it's like, oh, goodness, what's going on over there? And she's like,
Threads breaking.
my thread's breaking, blah, blah, blah. So, the three of us sort of
Like wasps.
zone in on the machine.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Take the thread out, and you look at the bobbin and you press the bobbin and
So we take it all apart.
Katrina says, you better pull your bobbin out and have a look.
Let's clean it. So we cleaned it.
It had been a while.
Well,
But
it
we
wasn't
sew
that
a
bad.
lot. But we sew a lot. It wasn't that bad.
So we used our favorite cleaners. So they're the Nook and Crannies. So they are really cool. So they're silicone and they actually just grab that stuff and pull it right out. And there's other cleaners. Like sometimes I always have one of these. This is like micro tip for that little small spot, but anyway.
Q-tip, every once in a while, I'll use a Q-tip. Always remember, do not blow out of an air compressor can. Do not blow that fuzz into the base of your machine. It'll be stuck there forever. And the guy the person, that looks at your machine for cleaning is
you
going,
used canned air.
Yeah. So,
Don't do that.
if anything, I have a little attachment. You can pick them up from my
Any-
vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And you pull it out of there. You suck all
Any
those
machine,
little fuzz.
anybody that sells machines sells this little attachment kit. I have one too, where you just suck everything out. It just pulls every little thread and lint ball out.
So, the tip of the day is if you've got, tension problems, machines just not sounding right, unthread it, go in, double check, make sure you get all the hair balls and the fuzz balls and the thread balls out of the bobbin case and in and around the area, put it back together, rethread it, be very, very careful rethreading it, and chances are you've solved some of those problems.
So when I'm over in Middlebury on the 25th of August, both my machines, my machines are supposed to go in July, and I could not arrange enough time to get it done before I was then on the road, because I was on the road the end of July, and then I came up here a few days later. So while I'm teaching there, I'm hoping my favorite mechanic's going to do the cleaning on both machines. And I have a little bit of an issue with my take-up bar, and that's really what's happening. The cleaning certainly is the thing that needs to happen all the time. But I'm having an issue with the thread jumping around the take-up bar and actually looping around it. And that was what's snapping the thread. So I'm not really sure what that's about, but I'm sure Vaughn at Middlebury Quilter's Corner there, Middlebury Sewing Back, he'll get it all straightened out because he always does.
Good tip though. It's September. September's coming. We're all off for summer. But in a couple of weeks, we're going to be back down in that sewing room. We're going to be starting Guild again. You're going to be making projects. I always say, one of those things. It's like changing the battery in your fire alarm. September, you get that machine all organized, get it cleaned out, take that case top off and check your bobbins and get it primed and ready for some good quilting. Because you know what, people?
Winter's
coming. Oh,
it's long.
It is long. So that's the fuzz issue. Now, this afternoon,
yes,
we had a meeting.
We did.
We had a meeting with Michelle from Adventures by
Quilting
Michelle.
Adventures by Michelle.
Long one.
So our wonderful cruise host for next April, Elevated Quilting, April 6th through the 17th, down into the Caribbean. And we're, totally excited. We meet with her about every other month. And, we're getting to the point now where we're going to be ordering that fabric for that wonderful sun-kissed waves quilt that we'll be teaching there. So it's just really cool. So things are ramping up. We will, for all those people that are joining us, and you know what? There's still time. We've got a few seats left. We're going to open a private Facebook group.
So you'll be getting, at some time in September, you'll be getting an email from us asking for your Facebook name.
Yep.
And then we'll send you a specific website. So this is only for the people that have signed up.
That's right.
And, we're going to be chatting about, anybody who's got cruising experience,
Yeah,
bring
share
those-
your tip. Like, get those magnetic metal hooks.
what do Lynn and I think that you should need that is not, normally brought into that? They'll just be stuff.
So, and it'll be a way for you to kind of like chat and see some activity from the fellow quilters that will be on the cruise with us.
Yeah.
And we'll chime up some conversations in there. And
The main takeaway is, right, cruise is a go.
yeah,
We're
so
going,
we're,
ladies.
So
So
it's full bore ahead at this point.
get that sundress cover now that they're on sale.
That's right. By the end of the season clearance wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a surprise for Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
the fashion
director.
fashion director for the cruise.
But that was the main thing. And if you've got friends, now that Guild is ramping up, like we said, they are still accepting people.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see a full house if I'm going to go down and spend time with people.
Yeah,
The more the merrier.
Yeah, don't be afraid to send either one of us a message saying, I'm not really sure I understand. We can explain most everything there is to do about the logistics of the quilting side. Okay, there's a Janome sponsored classroom with irons and stuff and all that stuff. So none of that needs to come. This is not lugging your sewing machine. You're going to bring your little tiny bag of your favorite things like your snips and your ripper and your pins.
Lynn and I are supplying the kit.
The kit's all pre-cut.
All pre-cut.
Yeah.
You can walk into class.
And just get, start learning and everything. So if you got any questions, just shoot us an email.
Yeah. Send any
Send a
information.
text.
Or you
Yeah.
have a friend that wants something.
Yeah.
Share the stuff.
If you're looking for a roommate, Michelle will help with that as well if she's got people coming in, on the registration side. So,
Yeah.
It's not a cruise you want to miss. Can you imagine 11 days with the two of us in a quilting classroom? Oh my goodness.
It's going to be a hoot, Lynn.
It's gonna
I
be a hoot.
can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
just can't
fun.
wait.
There's going to be a lot of lighthearted conversation, a lot of good quilting stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. Looking forward to it.
yeah.
Our tip of the month.
Oh yeah. Our tip of the month.
Our tip of the month.
Yeah.
We've been asked to give you our tips. And let me tell you, this is a topic on, how do I find enough time to quilt?
Yeah.
Now, I have to tell you that I did walk in. I was at the Canadian Quilters Association conference in Toronto this past June. And just to be me, I walked into one of the little booths where they were selling stuff. And the lady said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, I'll have 3 units of time, please." And she looked at me, she went, "Pardon?" And I'm like, "I'd like 3 units of time, please. I'm willing to pay anything." And she goes, "I don't sell time." And I'm like, "Please. Sell time."
Yeah, still working on that time machine.
Time machine. So what are some of the things that Lynn and I do? Because we've got, I just came off of, and so did Lynn, but a little bit before me, that time management issue with getting my quilt sample off to Island Boutique.
Right.
One of the big things that I think is crucially important is get organized. Get the pieces cut on the plate per unit. Or in this case, it's blocks. But if you've got a quilt, like Lynn's coming up, and there's going to be 4 patches and shaded 4 patches, and
Yeah. So I arrived here, a few days ago with all the bits and pieces that look like Carla's plates.
Yeah, my
all
plate
of the 49 blocks. And
has
now,
triangles in it.
yeah,
Different colored combinations of triangles, and this is block 1. So when I come down, say I got an hour in the morning,
Yeah.
or you have enough energy after supper, of which we've decided
it's getting harder
it's getting
and harder
to sew after supper.
at our experienced age.
Yes, yes.
that getting motivated up after supper, that 7:30, 8 o'clock, is getting harder and harder to get those late night sewing hours in.
I fight
So,
the river, and the girls have heard it now because at 2:30, sun is shining, we're in here, and I go, listen, and they go, what? And I go, the river's calling, and it goes, Carla. But what happens after supper is my chair calls me, and it gets a little bit louder and louder. Anyway, so if you spend time, get organized and have your pieces. And that way, if you've got a half an hour, maybe hubby runs to the hardware store or something, you think, oh, I'm just going to go sew for a couple of minutes. Or it makes that project not so daunting. If you think, I'm just going to sew this plate today, or this bag, or this block, and you just take it. It's like chapters in War and Peace. Don't think about the whole book, but just eat it in little increments. So get your little increments, get it prepped so that it's far easier.
And you can find where you are. So your top paper plate is where you are. So Carla knows she needs to start on block 1.
Yeah. See, you'll notice block 2 hasn't been cut yet, but block 1 is. So I've got. Yeah.
So it's getting organized and being, taking less time to rethink where you are. Where am I now? And find the right thing. So have out what you need, get it organized. And I am a firm believer that if I spend a couple hours organizing something, then I certainly save more than a couple of hours as I execute the task at hand.
Yeah.
So
And if you happen to be somebody who's, say quilting at the dining room table and, blah, 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 grab that tote box and your plates fit in there. You got your plates, your pattern, and your excess fabric on the bottom, so that when you pull that machine out, you open the lid of the box and there's the next plate that needs to be sewn. So we find that and the fact that we just really like sewing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
there's times I go days, if not maybe a couple of
Don't
weeks.
say not showering.
No. Well, we won't talk about that. Yeah. But that I actually don't get to stitch. I don't get to stitch putting pieces together, which I truly, truly love, just because there's all the other things that I do. And I don't have a social media person. I don't have a pattern writer. I don't have a finance guy. I don't have any of that stuff. So,
our computer stuff eats up a lot of our work, but
it's part of the package.
I a lot of times will sew when the class gets going in here, and everybody's sort of working. I grab 10 minutes, and I might get 6 wedges sewn, or 2 strips of a 4-patch getting ready to do. So it's just a matter of having that time. I also coordinate my sewing time with my husband's golf schedule.
Right.
So he's like, I'm golfing Thursday. And I'm like, well, if you can golf, I could sew. And so, the breakfast dishes get done and I'm, bye, honey. Yep. So I go golfing.
No, actually, I golf with my husband, so that doesn't work for me. But yeah.
So, just little tips and tricks. Big thing is, sometimes you just go down and sew.
Yeah. I mean, because it brings us joy, and it's really important to put something in your day every day that brings you joy.
Yeah.
So if it's applique, cheesies. Oh,
lots of cheeses.
So did you know that the cheesies in Canada are on a diet? So literally, it's always funny because I'll just tell you a story about coming across the border. So, I come across the border every year, and I get to the border, and I didn't bring much food this time. I brought the snacks to get me the 11 and a half hours up to here, Carl's house, just a tiny commute. And then I brought 1 party-sized bag of cheesies.
One of the Costco bags.
So I have all my stuff in the way back of the car, and in the back seat, right behind me, I put that giant bag of cheesies in the seatbelt, right? So the guy asked the questions, do you got any firearms, cannabis, liquor, all that stuff? So I answer all the standard questions. And he says, well, what are you bringing to go on vacation while you're with your friend? And I said, well, just the standard stuff we're going to sew. He goes, really? I said, yep. And he says, well, are you bringing her any gifts? And I says, buy it. I do have a gift for her. I says, you look in the behind me in that back seat. That bag of cheesies is for my girlfriend. And he just got a hoot out of that. It was just, the border agent he was in stitches.
It's a thing.
Flapping in stitches. Anyway, so yeah, but cheesies are a thing. We always get together with our cheesies.
The U.S. cheesies are, I swear to God, they're like a half an inch in diameter and a good 2.5 inches
You
long.
gotta open up wide. To get
So,
one of those.
I got my cheesy bag and they've got their cheesy bag. And then I said, well, we'll just supplement with my cheesy. I opened my cheesy bag and dumped them in the bowl. And you should have seen their faces. It was like,
where's the cheesies?
oh my God, they're so little. So if you have the opportunity to compare cheesies with a friend, we will compare cheesies on the cruise.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. And then you'll have to determine whether you have a Canadian bowl or a U.S. bowl.
Ooh.
I hear a prize.
Oh.
Anyway, that's what Lynn and I do. We just think about goofy things that bring us
Things that
joy.
are fun, make you laugh.
Yeah.
Make a little bit of your day a little lighthearted.
So I'm really hoping that, we were able to enlighten you on a few new, well, these aren't new tools, but, when we play with them a little bit often, they become new again.
Yeah.
And there's
they're
always
our favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we forgot to mention is much like the Lemoyne Star, the Wedge Star does have a fairly good repertoire of technique sheets that you're not just doing your standard wedge. They've got edge wedge, much like they've got the banded Lemoyne and this Lemoyne and the other Lemoyne. Well, the wedge is the same. So if you're thinking about cost, because we've talked about this a couple of times, they're expensive. But if you're going to invest in a tool, in my world, the tool has to do with multiple sizes and multiple things.
It doesn't take long to replace the fabric because you did it wrong or it didn't fit to buy that tool.
Yeah.
So that it's done correctly from the get-go. So hands down, it's worth the investment if you're a piecer and you like the shapes.
Yep. Or if you just want to do Alaska, the quick and easy way.
Yeah.
It's well worth it.
That's right.
So,
all right.
Lynn, you head home tomorrow?
I do.
I'll be sad.
I know.
It's
almost the beginning of the fall for me when I leave here and I head back home. So yeah, I'll be sad. Katrina drives straight south. I drive to the east. I go through. And Katrina goes down to Lower New York. So yes, it'll be a sad morning, and an early morning tomorrow. But we are going to finish our little visit here with some of our favorite activity. So Carla and Jim, Carla's husband, we go swimming. So we're gonna hit the river.
Oh yeah. So they roll in and I'm like, guys, it's hot. Let's get your bathing suits on. It was like 5, 6 o'clock at night. We'd had a snack and we were down and they're both standing there going, oh my God, it's so cold. The breeze can be like ocean. it can be really breezy here. Northern Ontario girls, please chime in here.
So anyway, so we ended up not dunking in that first night. So we have listened to this every day since we've been here. But so the other morning we got up at 6 o'clock, 6:10, headed down here. Katrina and I, we had our suits on. We were headed for the river. So anyway, tonight is the last swim, and we'll do that tonight And the other thing is it doesn't get dark till 9:30 here. We are like way far west.
How am I, this good Finnish girl, going to get you in the water tonight after supper?
Oh, you know how? Jim has started a sauna. So we're talking a traditional sauna. Oh yes. So we're going to go sauna,
swim,
dip, sauna, swim. Yes, it's a wonderful tradition. And every time I go home from here, I'm like, I need a sauna.
I told her I'd go up and help her build it, but
Yep. So that's our evening activity. And then of course we round our night out here at the Quilting by the River Resort with some mean card games. So Katrina blesses us with all of her card games. She brings a whole bag full.
Yeah. So if you're traveling with a couple of friends to the cruise, we said we've got to put that on our list. We got to bring a deck of cards or two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your favorite little game to play with friends.
Yeah, yeah.
So
all
yeah.
those little things. So it's been wonderful,
Yes, it's
friend,
been
having you have a visit.
Oh yes.
And
It's always wonderful coming here.
we'll keep you up to snuff with my progress of the wedge. Depends on how life happens.
That's right. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen.
But in the meantime, Lynn and I are here. You know how to get in touch with us. Quiltingbytheriver.ca.
LynnWheatley.com.
And shoot us questions. Come find us.
Yeah.
We'll teach you what we know. Always happy to do that.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us today. And I hope you enjoyed this chat. And remember, follow us, like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and watch all of our quilting adventures. We'd love to hear from you. You got some topic you want to know about, you're intrigued by, just shoot us a note. We'll investigate it, and we can talk about anything for a half hour, as you've seen. So keep creating, stay inspired, and enjoy your quilting journey, because it is yours and not ours.
Until next time, everybody, stay safe.
Bye.